I'm Vic Basmadjian. I'm a recovered carbaholic turned into a certified nutrition advisor with a nutrition network with a second lease on life and helping people trying to find the same good fortune that I have stumbled across. Started 5 years ago. I'll be actually starting year 6 in January. I was basically on a pretty bad collision ending where I was heading towards a pretty rough road. Hypertension for 30 years, sleep apnea, severe sleep apnea. I was tested before going on CPAP therapy. I was having I was stopping to breathe 45 times per hour. It really was a severe case of sleep apnea. When I went to see the doctor and I said, I think I have sleep apnea. And when we got the results, he goes, "You think you have sleep apnea? I don't know how you're standing," right? So it was a severe case, hypertension for 30 years, on medication. Even while I was on medication, at the best case scenario was just keeping it at borderline, like 140/90. And that's as good as it got. So pushing close to pre-diabetic. I guess I was fortunate that I was not diabetic, did not end up being a diabetic, but it was inevitable. If I continued eating the way I was eating, if I did not change my lifestyle, I would most definitely have gone down that path. So it was time to make change. It was time to make severe change. And thankfully, I found that route. I found this great community of ours and so many great people, and became a passion and turned it all around at age 55. So when we say it's never too late, it's never too late. Okay, so I just celebrated my 60th birthday, and I'm confidently can tell you that I'm probably in better shape today than I was when I was 40. Like I said, the sleep apnea, I mean, the high blood pressure, I've been dealing with it since the age of 25. I mean, I was obese. I was obese at the age, all my life from childhood. Okay, this is not, it just didn't come overnight. I always battled weight. And so I was hypertensive at the age of 25 and put on medications back then. So then that just becomes, I got hypertension, and you could still go on with your life and really without any repercussions. Mind you, repercussions that you feel, but meanwhile, the damage is going on the inside that we're, not aware of. It was my sleep apnea that really was the wake-up call. I'd get to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was done. I was tired. I had no more energy. I couldn't get through the day. It was, absolutely no energy. Some days I just stop working. I'm in sales. I'm on the road, and I just didn't have the energy to continue. I'd just take myself off the road, and I'd come home and no energy, and would just have to sleep because I didn't know that. I thought I was sleeping, and the irony of it all was I would think I was getting anywhere from 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. But at best, I was probably getting 2-3 hours because there was no quality of sleep. It was the length, but the length really doesn't matter. It's what kind of quality we have. What is the level of the deep sleep? What is the level of the REM sleep? And I didn't record it back then, but I'm almost scared to think of what the percentages were. It was probably very poor sleep. Waking up in the middle of the night, because I had acid reflux and so severe that I'd wake up in a sweat. Okay, so the body was saying something is terribly going wrong, and I'd have to get up and change my T-shirt in the middle of the night. So I wasn't in a good place. No energy, can't sleep properly, breaking out in sweats, constantly having heartburn. Sleeping with a sleep apnea machine was really, I think, it's not a pleasant thing as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it was, it's not an easy thing. And then when you're traveling, when you're going on vacation, you got to lug around your CPAP machine and worry about having filtered water in some foreign country. And am I going to be able to get water or not for the machine? And So it's not a pleasant thing. So it was really time to make change. And I was fortunate enough that I have friends that really care about me, and they were always pushing me to, like, Vic, you got to do something. This is, this can't go on. And I got to an all-time high of 300 pounds. I don't think, if that's not going to be a wake-up call, I don't know what is. And the way I was feeling and the weight, and people say, well, you're tall, I'm 6'1", so you carry it well. Well, no, I don't carry it well. They're trying to be gentle, but in any case, my friends were able to, via putting some money down and bets and cheering me on, and we decided to put on a pretty hefty bet, with the money going to charity at the end, not for anybody to win money, but all of the money was donated to charity. So that's how it was. It was time to make change, and I made the change, and not knowing if I was going to succeed, because the first round of bets, I actually, believe it or not, ended up gaining weight instead of losing weight. And it's not something that's infrequent, because I would end up starting doing diets throughout my life. I've yo-yo dieted throughout my life, and because of the fact that you were always deprived and hungry, and there was a start date to the diet and there was an end date to the diet. So everything we know today and what I've learned today, that was, the wrong route to go with. By the time the diet was over, I never lost the kind of weight that I've presently lost with this journey. But I've lost several times, anywhere from 50 to 70 pounds. And then it would all come back. It would all come back, and with a vengeance, and even more, because I was starving. I was hungry. And that's the key. That's the difference of low carb, right? We learned that satiety is the main key of why we succeed in this lifestyle. The biggest difference was that, again, I'll keep, I'm a big believer of, and that's being able to be sustainable, is not being hungry, because this is what we're fighting. We're always fighting hunger. We're always fighting deprivation, feeling that, whether it's a birthday, whether it's a holiday, whether it's a party, that, well, I'm watching everybody eat, but I'm not allowed to have this, and I'm not allowed to have that. And well, yeah, there are certain things that have to be eliminated in a low carbohydrate or ketogenic diet, but you're not, at least I didn't feel that I was deprived, okay? And it's not bland food. You're eating actually flavorful food. So you're eating proteins, you're satiated, so you're not hungry. You don't have this urge to say that, oh my God, I really have to eat something and I got to do something. There's always a replacement that's a big plus. We have ways of getting around, there's big discussion about this. I know it's a little bit controversial because we talk about addiction and what have you, but it may not be the route for everybody, because the replacements that we could have, monk fruit or erythritol to replace sweets, it worked for me very well. Okay, or to have, if you felt like having pizza at the beginning, and you can always have a fathead pizza, so you're not eating carbohydrates, and you have that option. So I realize it's a slippery slope for some people, and it's not an option for some people, but then it is a good option for a lot of people. And I think for myself, I don't know if I would have succeeded if that wasn't the case. I really think that if I didn't have those replacements. Now, having said that, you have to use them don't make them a staple. This is not what we want to turn our lifestyle into, right? So it's like when you're gonna get that craving, and it's like, oh, I might just like fall off board. If I just have this replacement, which is keeping it low carb, it's going to get me through. So at the beginning, I'd have it more often. I'd have it, let's say, once or twice a month, just to get me through. And then as you progress and as you start getting fat adapted, you just find that the less and less that you need it. You're not looking for it all the time. So use it as, like, what I like to call it, as training wheels as you're starting, and to help you get through. And then once you're pedaling the bike, you're not looking for those training wheels anymore. And so it's a big help. That's a big part of my success. And like I said, being satiated and having options to have replacements, that was the key. you get a new lease on life. You're a different person. You're just, they've programmed us to think that as we age, it's a normal path to take, that you're going to get sick and that you're going to be on medication and that you're going to slow down and you're going to have aching joints and sore body, and you shouldn't be able to be active and exercise. It's normal. Okay, you're getting old. Well, what do you expect? So, but this is not true. There's no reason why we should be able to live a good quality of life. A couple of years back, I went on vacation to Greece, and we went climbing with friends to the top of a mountain, right? I get emotional talking about it, okay? I cried when I got to the top of the mountain, okay? Because this would have not been possible. This would have not been possible. So you're experiencing things of life, that you would have otherwise would have not been possible. Made it all the way to the top, climbed, and said, wow, I did it. And you have the energy and you have the strength and you're enjoying life. And then moving forward, I say to myself, I'm living an active life. I look forward. Although I must say it's just recently, this past year, that I really got heavily into exercise and into the gym. At the beginning, it was, when you're that heavy, you actually kind of maybe at 300 pounds, you're probably risking injury if you're going to go too heavy of exercise. So there's nothing wrong with that. Start with walking, start going by brisk walks, and it's fine. And then as you go on and as the weight comes off, you can start to do a little bit more and a little bit more. And now it's gone to the point where I'm addicted to the gym. I work out very frequently. I do a lot of weight training, more so than cardio, and I feel great. I feel strong. You're not huffing and puffing when you're lifting nominal things. And it's a good quality of life. And God willing, in the future, you know what? I want to be able to play with my grandchildren. I want to be able to, have a good quality of life. This is what it comes down to. Okay. It's life-changing. It's life-changing, and it's very attainable. We have been programmed that you can't do it. They're always blaming the person that why they haven't lost weight, why, well, you must be doing something wrong. You're not following the instructions, or, you're always to blame, right? Whether, you name it, I've done it. I'm a repeat offender of Weight Watchers, and I used to go, and I did lose. You know what? Every diet is gonna work. Okay, it's gonna work. It's talk to me about how you're gonna sustain it. Talk to me how you're gonna keep it off. That's where the difference is. So, you'd go to the meeting, get on a scale, and okay, so you lost this much this week, and so no, but you didn't lose this week. Oh, you must have used up all your points or what have you. And nobody at Weight Watchers is going to talk to you about stress. Nobody at Weight Watchers is going to talk to you about sleep. Nobody at Weight Watchers is going to talk to you about satiety. All the key components that is necessary to succeed and turn it into a lifestyle. Those are just diets. They're all diets. Oddly enough, the whole world says that keto is restrictive and unsustainable. Trust me, if yo-yo dieting was an Olympic sport, I'd be an Olympic champion. Okay, so been there, walked the path. I've probably yo-yo dieted a couple of 100 pounds on and off throughout my life. So I know what's unsustainable. I know what's restrictive, and it's certainly not low carb and keto. It's totally sustainable. It's just life-changing. Number one, satiety is the key. Okay, make sure that forget about this calorie dogma. They say counting calories and how many calories are you eating and what have you. It's like eat until you're full. Okay, eat until you're full. And I'm not saying that you need to really gorge yourself and fill up till you're ready to can't have any more. But eat until you're comfortably full. Eat until you're not hungry anymore. Make the right choices, and that'll come very easily. Tip number 2 is trust the process. Don't get impatient. Don't fall into that scale trap. Okay. What I like to tell people is the scale is going to come. Okay. The scale it's going to play tricks on your mind. Okay. You're going to have times that it's going the way you want to go, and it's going to start dropping the way you would want to. And then you're going to have other times that it's not moving. And it doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Okay. The scale cannot be moving, but your body is healing. Your body is going through changes. There's a process. So trust the process. I tell people it's not that I tell them, I mean, it's known in the community. These are all the things that I learned. Okay. Instead of the scale, throw the scale away and get yourself a tape measure and measure your waist, measure your thighs, you measure your, all the parts where we generally lose weight on it. You might see that you may have not lost any weight within a couple of weeks, but you lost a couple of inches. So it shows that things are going on. Okay. Other tips, get involved in community. You got to really get involved in a community. There's so many good communities out there on social media, and be engaged, be involved, listen to podcasts, read, educate yourself. Don't be scared to reach out to people who are out in the space. And there's so many people out there that are willing to help and guide you, and be part of a community and stay engaged. That's very key. It's because you surround yourself with, people who are in the same situation. We're all in the same situation and in the same mindset. Supportive. Support is very important. Okay. So if you don't have any support around you, it makes it a lot more difficult. Those are basically my main tips. I mean, it's like I said, it's be very careful of social media. Hopefully you're going to fall onto the right track of social media, because there's a lot of stuff out there that, that they claim it to be keto, but it's not. Keto or low carb is not, as I say, it's not an all you can eat fat buffet. Okay. And some of these social media circles are, just showing like an abundance of, not the right foods. And so be cautious of what your macros are, and just trust the process, and it'll come. Okay. It's not a race. It's a journey. That's what it is. Basically, we want to concentrate on protein is, I believe, is what's going to keep. I don't believe it. It's fact. Protein is going to keep you full, and protein is going to give you the nutrients, and it's going to help you contain your muscle mass. And meat, fish, eggs, poultry. Have your, some people want to go the carnivore route if they do have autoimmune issues, if they can't digest vegetables, so they might want to go the carnivore route. Other people, if you have no trouble with that, with vegetables, I personally enjoy my vegetables, so I have them. Veggies, protein, lots of Greek yogurt, low carb fruits, as in berries, as in avocados. Oh yes, please pick the right oils. Okay, avoid seed oils. Okay, make sure you're sticking to either butter or olive oil or ghee or coconut oil. All the other oils that are commonly used, that are, by the processed food manufacturers in particular, oils like seed oils and canola oil, and these are all highly inflammatory oils that are not going to help you with inflammation. Is going to cause you, a lot of problems. So sticking to good oils, sticking to proteins, clean proteins, and these are it does. That's what I say. People, keto is not complicated. It's very simple. It's pick a protein, pick a vegetable, and if you want to embark, like I said, in the replacement foods, hey, reach out to me. I'll give you recipes. Depending, I guess, on I always say I don't make it a cheap excuse that, like I said, I started this when I was 55 years old. And I found the success, and now this low carb community that we have, and all the information that we have, it's there now. It's all there. We know better. We when I was a teenager, or, when I was battling obesity, when I was in my 20s, when I was in my 30s, when I was in 40s, this information may have been out there, but it wasn't really mainstream. So we didn't hear any talk about it, right? So the only advice we had was we'd go to the doctor, and our doctors would tell us, eat less and move more. And that's all we had to go on. We weren't given very good advice. Nowadays, there's so much advice out there. We know better. We see all the new studies that are coming out. So to the young audience, I say, don't wait till you're old to make change. Retake your life into your hands while you're young, okay? You have the information now, and you can make the right choices, and you can switch it around. To the older audience, I will say, it's never too late. Do not ever say, I'm 55 years old, I'm 60 years old, I'm 65. I was coaching I'm still coaching a sweet lady of 73 years old that just started a month ago, and she had a HbA1c of 8.8. Her doctor wanted her to go on, obviously, on medication. She turned it down, and she decided to reach out to a coach and do something about it. And within 4 weeks, we have her down to 5.6. And okay, now, we still got to see where the next 3 months will go, but she hasn't seen those kind of numbers in forever, right? So it's never too late is my message. Don't believe that we should be, the older we get, it's normal to have aches and pains. I mean, unless it's from injury, things happen, but it shouldn't be induced nutritionally, okay? So if your metabolic state is not well, it's generally reversible via fixing up your nutrition. So never too late. When you're young, take the advice that's out there. There's a wealth of information out there. Make changes early as you can. Enjoy life as much as you can. Don't miss out on the years like I did, that I wasn't able to do this and I wasn't able to do that. So make the change for the young people and the older people. It's not too late. Don't buy it. Go for it. It's life-changing.